All right, this week in RuneScape, sailing week 1 feedback and fixes. So this was on November 26, 2025, update day on a Wednesday. So this week addresses a bunch of sailing bugs and fixes. Should point that the known issues of the glide shark trial not being currently possible to complete has been hot fixed when it comes to the shark time. Players are reporting that the crystal extractor isn't working in certain locations, i.e. the Gwyneth glide mooring points. The team is aware of this issue and will be resolved within the next week's update, so basically to be cold fixed. And then we've seen further reports of the crystal extractor not resetting correctly at the start of the Barracuda trials. The teams are aware of this issue and they're looking into it, so they're investigating. Some of the change logs, as you can see here, right? So sailing changes. So the crystal extractor no longer works while near the docks or bank boat. While we enjoy how you've been using the crystal extractor to give extremely passive sailing experience while being able to bank stand, train other skills, it feels against the spirit though of sailing. So we've reduced the animations on the fetid pool within the Jubbly Jive to help improve performance. I've heard a lot recently that and I haven't actually gotten there yet. I've been so focused on killing the griffin that it sucks. It really actually lags, and a lot of other performance issues really do exist there. So it's good to know that they're working to obviously get that fixed, and there they have. We'll continue to monitor this area and look into to further address the performance issues. To make sure that everyone starts a trial with their boat in a neutral state, the crystal extractor will now reset its charge point or progress when the trial restarts, and will not charge while the trial is paused. When you interact with it, the trial timer will okay. When you interact with it, the trial timer will start, and if it was activated before the trial started, it will reactivate automatically when you start moving. Gotcha. We fixed issues with the extra trial boxes and uneven box collision within the Barracuda trials. We'll keep an eye on your feedback surrounding this. Opening a chest with a key obtained from a Barracuda trial will no longer delete the key if you don't have space to receive what is inside. The Gwyneth Glide's blue and crystal map icons are now correctly matched their teleport destinations, and fixed a collision logic issue that led to a lot of issues with boats becoming stuck. Additional sticking points are expected to need map changes to resolve them, and we expect to work through these in the coming weeks. Remember, if you have any issues, continue to report them through the Discord. Vanel, you are full of shit. Anyway, they added an option to the setting menu to allow players to determine who can use their cargo hold, separate and independent from those who is allowed on your boat. It is no longer possible to trim the sails while holding cargo. The Carpenter's Outfit XP bonuses are now granted when crafting items at the shipwright workbench. Bounty tasks now correctly match the required sailing level for their NPC locations, with narwhals repositioned to keep tasks accessible. Sea creatures that shouldn't drop bones, such as sharks, rays, and krakens, no longer do so. The material list has been corrected for the teleport focus and the rune salvaging hook in the guide. Fixed an issue where the camera would sometimes hide in a corner when joining a friend's boat. Fixed an issue where repair kits weren't updating the ship's HP in the sailing side panel, and made it clearer for the players to understand how to return to Pandemonium during the quest. The collection log buttons for Shellbane Griffin and Sirius now open the correct entries. Sailing is now selectable as a skilling activity for a clan event. That's actually pretty cool. Good to know for our clan. If we get big enough, we can start doing events. Fixed typos in the message when receiving shark paint. Sailing music tracks unlocks hints, and parlaying Preston's examine text. Other changes: the animation for running with a hill giant club, the Dazar Cat Ohm, or Meat Tenderizer have been updated to make your character hold the large weapon more appropriately. This matches the changes made for the Darok Great Axe in 2024. This should change clan to cult. Probably not. It wouldn't be a good idea, especially if the cults had very, very wrong names, right? Merch wise, RuneScape, this is actual RuneScape. The Shadows of a Masket is out tomorrow in the UK and on December 30th in the US. And there's new Angelscapes, Varlamore themed pinned and keyrings, including Humphrey Dumfrey, the Gemstone Crab, the Sailing Cape, Skill Cape, Soup, and more. It's important to notice also the PvP Rota has been moved to period A. So 539 in the US is the PvP world, 318 in the UK for the bounty hunter world. Is there a Thanksgiving event? There's not. It's because Thanksgiving isn't like traditionally celebrated everywhere. 548 is the German high-risk PvP world, 577 is the US free-to-play PvP world, and 559 is the UK LMS competitive. World 390, or Australian for LMS competitive, has been activated with this rota. World 569, the Australian for the bounty hunter, has been activated with this rota. And the PvP arena is using the 1 defense pure loadouts in the ranked duels and tournaments this week. Alright, sailing changes. What a week, sailors. Watching Old School's first ever new skill set sail has been one of the most surreal, joyful, and heartwarming moments in game's history. From streamers dressing up as pirates, to playful, gleeful spooning of their first sailing pet at level 1 and 2. Seriously? Yeah, those jackasses. To the absolute storm of memes you've made this launch. Don't forget, guys, I dressed up as much as possible. And by that, I mean I put on a straw hat because, well, I wanted to be comfy if I was going to sit here for 16 hours. They made this launch unforgettable. We've seen wholesome sailing lock-in snacks, group adventuring together into the unknown, community cheering at heavily for their favorite rank 1 racers, and players rediscovering that special social magic the game has and always had. Seeing the ocean full of life has been incredible. Social aspect, man, you mean all of us who weren't in a raft calling people in a raft rafties? Like, I think it was more of a, we were kind of immediately ragging on people the second we could. Like, shit, you're in a raft? Rafty. At the same time, we know launches come with waves. Some feedback has been loud, some passionate, some frustrated, and all of it's valuable. The dev team has been working around the clock to read your comments, investigate your bug reports, and respond to the issues as fast as we responsibly can. While we can't fit all of the feedback changes and bug fixes into a single release, we're listening, we're learning, and we're committed to making sailing the long-term skill it deserves to be. Thank you for telling us what works, what's not working, and what you want to see next. And do continue to let us know your thoughts on our first ever skill. Holy shit, now. You know what? For that fucking statement. You can't see it, YouTube, but now put 6-7 on a watch streak. I think that is viable for a timeout. Hi, Larry, by the way. All right. As we mentioned, yep, they're going to continue to look into it. You know, there's a lot to take in, and they're going to do a lot of changes over time. Get back into the video, right? Before we dive in, let's go over some big points we're currently looking into. First, we're aware the Crystal Extractor is giving a lot of XP and feeling like a compulsory gameplay. We are considering taking some of this XP and redistributing it into other areas of the game, but the team will continue to monitor the situation this week before we make any adjustments. Secondly, the team is very aware of the feedback from UIM players. Hey, Leary, they hear you! They hear you! Particularly surrounding the cargo hold. The current set of restrictions in place was deliberately conservative in the case of any unexpected and undesired shift in the meta for the game mode, but it's clear that these restrictions go too far. While there isn't a change in this update, it's something we're actively exploring, and we'd like to clarify that any changes that affects UIM would have been done in small increments to try to gradually solve your frustration without removing core elements or problem solving that comes with the game mode. Alert and lie. All right. How's it going, Odin? Finally, we've also heard the complaints about not being able to use planks directly from your plank sack when constructing ship parts. We're hoping to address this within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. All right, so to be quite fair, we can use planks from the plank sack when it comes to making repair kits. How is it so hard when it comes to making like the hull parts? You know what I mean? Is that not weird? Or I guess I'm not sorry, the hull parts, but like anything on the ship, right? Like it works in those places. Why not also work anywhere else? Now, someone can remind me, doesn't it work in the POH? Doesn't it pull from your plank sack if you're doing stuff in the POH, or do you still have to empty your plank sack? Right? What is it? I can't remember. I thought it pulled from the plank sack when you work in your POH. Does it not? Yeah. Not a clue. Mahogany Homes does though. Man, it's weird. It's weird. It's like you think they would have it said. Knowing Mahogany Homes does, it feels like. Now, granted, we all know there's the topic of spaghetti code. This could be a spaghetti code moment. It's not just easy to implement a feature one place and another, but we'll see. 3 stream streak, huge, Odin. Okay. Below is the first patch of changes and fixes going live, many of which were shaped directly by your feedback. Yeah, for real. 100%. It is 100% a 1970 engine that's hanging on for dear life. We reduced the animation on fetid pools, as I talked above, to make it so Jubbly Jive performs better. They're going to continue to monitor the area and look into further address performance issues. Jagex nerfed everything good about sailing. Oh, we're not there yet. I don't know. To make sure that everyone starts the trial with their boat in a neutral state, the crystal extractor will now reset its progress and not charge when it is paused. Also, hi, friend. When you interact with the trial timer, it starts if it's activated before the trial starts. Oh, Jesus, when you interact with it, the trial timer will start, and if it was activated before the trial started, it will reactivate automatically when you start moving. We fixed issues with extra trial boxes and uneven box collision. Opening a chest from a key from a Barracuda trial will no longer delete the key if you don't have the space. I can't do accents in the first place, so there's no shot you could get me to do a British accent. I'd have to bring Pseudo on stream to read one of these in his Mod Ash accent, but I don't think Pseudo's here. I think he might still be at work or something. So maybe the next Wednesday update we'll get Pseudo to hop on and read it. I can't do any of that, dude. I don't know. I'm white and I speak like an American with the measurements of cheeseburgers and football fields. Okay, it's the best I can do. Boat interactions, right? They talked about how they fixed a collision logic issue that led to a lot of issues with boats becoming stuck. Additionally, sticking points are expected, so make sure if any point you get stuck, you can let them know. Remember, the Discord is the easiest way to get in contact them, right? A lot of this stuff is kind of talked about just above, but quick run through, right? It's important to know you can no longer trim your sails while holding cargo. If you're wearing the carpenter's outfit, you will get XP bonuses whenever you're working on the shipwright's workbench. You cannot now turbo AFK the crystal extractor, so if you're near docks or the bank boat, while we enjoy you being able to just sit there and bank stand, the crystal extractor will turn off and will not be active in that area. Bounty tasks now correctly match the required sailing level based on their NPC locations, right? And Narwhal is repositioned to help keep it accessible. Sea creatures that shouldn't drop bones no longer do so. And the material list for the teleport focus and rune salvaging hook and the skill guide has been updated. They fixed an issue where the camera would sometimes hide in the corner when you join a friend's boat. And we fixed an issue where repair kits weren't updating the ship's HP in the sailing side panel. Made it clear for players to understand how to return to Pandemonium during the quest. The collection log buttons for Shellbane and Scurrius now actually go to the right entries. Sailing is now in a skill activity or selectable one for clan events, right? And fix the typo when receiving shark paint and sailing music track unlock hints, as well as parlaying Preston's examine text. Okay. Coming soon, so this is next week and shorter term. As more feedback comes in, we'll discuss changes and improvements to sailing, while we've also added these to the known issues and fixes post. Here are some of the feedback points that we didn't get time to address this week, but will be addressed as soon as possible. So the crystal extractor is going to get addressed. We know that they feel like everyone's sitting there just utilizing the crystal extractor, so they're going to look at taking some of the XP from there and redistributing it in other areas of the game. So we can see the crystal XP, the crystal extractor XP is going to come down, where maybe they'll bump something like salvaging. It's crazy. So far they have not mentioned salvaging once yet in this one, so maybe they're okay with the rates of salvaging. Maybe it even will go there. Yours is not working at Gwyneth Glide. That is an actual issue. I can kind of scroll up here. They were talking about it. They are currently investigating it right here. The team is aware that the crystal extractor is not working in certain locations. Example, the Gwyneth Glide mooring points, and the team is aware of it. It's going to be resolved by next week, so it's going to be cold fixed. So you're going to have to work without it for a while. Quitting till next week. Where were we? We got to keep going down. I'm like so much further. Ultimate Ironman, remember they talked about how we know that your guys' concerns, so they're going to look into incrementing or doing incremental improvements for UIM to help address frustrations while making sure that it doesn't devalue the game mode itself. They're going to be working on this slowly over time, so just to keep you a heads up, UIM, keep your eyes out. Tune in every Wednesday as we go over these every Wednesdays. Maybe you will see more about this. We were purposely overzealous with our nerfs, but we're going to drag our feet about changing it. Unfortunately, you are very true. It is one of those cases where I don't know. And you guys can tell me, because you guys are UIMs. I'm only an Iron Man, right? Is this something that happens a lot? Is this something where they always pull back when it comes to UIM, and then when it comes to like realizing that the UIM community is kind of mad, they take forever to fix it? Is this a common issue with UIMs? Jagex loves cock blocking normie players. I have a question. Will they be removing BIS armors from UIM house storage, or does that not count as meta changing enough? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. They give us too much broken shit, and when it's a minor inconvenience, decide we play cock and ball torture mode. Oh. And you guys used to also get only UIM pulls. They just added shit like that, but suddenly 100 plus fish storage is too much. Damn. That's crazy. Hey, I mean, look. OSRS Discord, you know, go there and rag on them. You're an iron hater, but it's true. I do believe that there's a lot of times where irons can sway the votes for stuff and polls. I agree. Some iron players are unbearable. I don't know who, but I know there's ones out there. Okay. Group Ironmen should be able to share each other's facilities without having them already built. This was an oversight and will be fixed in the coming weeks. The sail and click box, we're looking to increase the model of the cargo hold to help tackle issues where players can mistakenly click their sail instead. If this doesn't work, we may look into swapping the position of the cargo on the bolt with a facility that doesn't require as many clicks. I don't know, the fucking teleport thing? You could put the teleport thing underneath there and put the cargo actually out in the open. That's just a thought. Oops. Boat repairs. We're making a change next week to allow shipwrights to repair your boat for a fee. Additionally, when upgrading your boat, upgrades will restore HP back to your boat. The cargo hold. We're actively looking ways to make losing items in cargo hold less punishing. Additionally, we're looking at how we can make it clear to players to understand what items you will lose on death. This will take longer for us to implement, as we need time to design a solution that considers the impact that changes may have on courier tasks. Whirlpool surprises. Boostable sailing unlocks. Players want more sailing related unlocks to be boostable, such as charting and facility building. Whilst we can't confirm exactly what will and won't be boostable yet, we're going to do a general review of what's boostable and what isn't, and make some changes in the coming weeks. The plank stack. We've also heard the complaints around not being able to use the plank sack directly when you're from your plank sack, using the planks directly from your plank sack when constructing ship parts. We are hoping to address this within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. When it comes to new logs, it looks like there was a small miscommunication from one of our previous blogs, as the new logs added with sailing cannot be gotten from any salvaging. The team has agreed to update the drop tables within the next couple of weeks, so players can rarely attain the higher tier logs from appropriate tiers of shipwreck. Man, I don't like that. When you get valet parking, they don't usually take all your belongings. I like the term usually. Usually they don't take it. Log out boat behavior. We've also confirmed that there's a bug related to logging out at sea whilst on your boat, sending players to unexpected location. We're hoping to get that fixed within the next 2 weeks. The days in, valet might take your shit. And the complaining the storage is functionally unusable in this state, and they said, what if the crates no take up space? That's not really a solution, unfortunately. Frost dragons. Players have noted that the demand for frost dragons or dragon sheets currently outweighs supply. We're exploring how we can increase supply to keep up with demand, e.g. a task only section within the cave. Okay. I know that people really like the frost dragons. I've seen like a handful of streamers just camping frost dragons right now, like just beating the shit out of them. Like we're talking like the fire weakness, Dragonheart wand, harmonized nightmare staff. You need like 1900 on average for one boat, I believe. Oh, dude, that's bad. Jeez, that's fucking bad. Lastly, thank you for your excellent quality of life suggestions. While we can't list them all here, these are a few notable ones that we're aiming to include in the coming weeks. As always, ongoing bug triage and feedback may shift priorities. Let crewmates remember which tasks they were doing between world hops. Add ability to disable teleport warnings while on your boat. Yes, and don't ask me again. Adding level requirements to docking points. Further adjustments to the colorful fade/flash effect within the Gleneth Glide. Add options for repair kit and hull parts to shipwright workbench. Add a toggle for auto accept available cargo. I don't even want to play thanks to this update, to be honest. Stop sending me to Africa when I log out of my boat. Oh. This is me, Milky. This is indeed me. How is it going? Further feedback and longer term, ship combat. We've also stated reviewing early feedback on ship combat. One recurring theme is that cannons don't currently feel impactful enough. We're still gathering data and exploring potential adjustments, so we don't have any concrete changes to share just yet. Once we've had more time to analyze player behavior and feedback, we'll return with an update on our approach. And in the meantime, please continue sending us your thoughts. We generally appreciate the insight, and we'll keep you informed as we review progresses. Previous hotfix, if you can go back to the other video and watch all of that, so much easier. Other changes. Before we kick this section off, we're aware to continue rendering issues where our character's feet will sink into the floor. My feet's doing okay. I don't know what they're talking about. We'll be working on tech improvement to get you back on solid ground, but don't have anything to share regarding exactly when we'll see these fixes ready. Just know that we're aware and we're working on it, with more details to be shared once we'll be able to confirm from the specific, more of the specifics. And I'm doing great, Milky. Just getting through the blog for today, getting this recorded, and then we're going to focus on killing some Nexus. At the point, we are almost at the end of the thing, and I see nothing about the Portal Nexus, unfortunately. And seeing merch coming up next means I highly doubt they're going to talk about it. The animation for running with the Hill Giant Club, Tazarket Ohm, or the Meat Tenderizer has been updated to make your character hold the large weapon more appropriately. This matches the changes made with the Darox Great Axe in 2024. Merch. The RuneScape Shadows of the Maskets, so it looks like there's a book coming out, is now out in the UK, and on December 30th in the US, learn the truth about the Hereditas expedition and the hair-raising tale of betrayal, devotion, and religious fanaticism. Oh boy. Was the Hereditas expedition doomed from the start? Led by Pontifex Bilrock. Jesus Christ. The Majorat must find the artifacts of the dead god Tumikin and complete the ritual of rejuvenation, otherwise they face extinction. Forced to work together by Zeros, the Majorat form an uneasy alliance, though they will all have their own ambitions. Having found only sand and false hope wandering through the Caridian desert, the search is becoming even more frustrating as the casualties mount as the humans die for the Majorat cause. The desert is vast and full of danger, the sun is oppressive, and there are traitors in the mist. Can the Majorat succeed despite those impossible odds? Dude, I didn't know that there was books in general. That's actually kind of cool. I wish I read. Jesus Christ. Hi, Shy. Welcome on in. We're just at the end. You can order now from Titan Books, others retailers such as Amazon or your local bookstore. A great read for the upcoming holidays. The RuneScape, The Gift of Guthix by the same author is also now available as an audiobook. I love audiobooks. I'd rather have an audiobook than I would read. That's actually kind of cool. That's actually exciting. And RuneScape, The Fall of Hollowvale is also available. A minor spelling mistake. Oh no. From all the usual retailers, and to pre-order as an audiobook releasing in January. Catch up with the latest from Angelscape's ranges. My goodness, I absolutely love all those pins. As a heads up for those who are in the US, it's important to note that as beautiful that these pins are, if you live in the US, don't even consider trying to buy these unless your stacks are bigger than, I don't know, Leary's or Shy's or Milky's. I'm sure they're all richer than me. I went and I was thinking about getting a handful of these pins myself. I was pretty excited. I stacked up like $60 worth of pins. I got the checkout and I have to pay $85 in shipping. So yeah, don't even, unless one of y'all want to get these as a gift, that is great. But yeah, I was kind of bummed. I was gonna buy a handful of these. So tariffs suck ass, and hopefully that shit gets fixed, because I do like collecting pins. It's kind of hard to see, like on my mic here, my mic fuzzy. It's not gonna show well. I have like the connection lost pin. That's what kind of sits right there, and I have a few other also on my pin board. So really awesome pins. Angelscape's, she does a phenomenal job. Just sucks that we really can't get any. Like, I want Humphrey Dumfrey, right? So we're back with Varlamore pins and key rings. Now you can snag a limited edition pin of the accident prone Humphrey Dumfrey. Oh, it's okay, it's up here. And even your favorite AFK hardcore Iron Man Slayer, the glimmering gemstone crab. Check out the full range at the merch store. She also went ahead with the launch of Sailing, made the treasure trove of exclusive pins and key rings. Display your nautical prowess with the Sailing Skill Icon pin, or secure a Sailing Skill Cape keyring in preparation for your Ration 99. For pet collectors and fans of cute companions, there's the Sea Turtle Soup. In search of a quirky guardian for your riches, the Bank Crab will keep your gold safe properly. Enjoy voyage. Every voyage should feel more complete with companions like these at your side. Get yours today, which these just take you straight to the merch store. I already talked about the PvP rota, and that is it for this week's blog post. Yeah, so it's surprising to see him not talk anything about salvaging. That's all A-okay to them, I guess, because that's not on their radar. We're going to expect changes from the crystal locator, or the crystal, not locator, I'm sorry, the crystal extractor, right? We're expect to see XP be taken from that and possibly distributed in other areas of sailing. You can no longer bank stand literally with the crystal extractor at the crab bank all the way out in the middle of the sea. They're going to look into cannon combat. UIMs, you're not going to see any changes for quite a while, which is pretty unfortunate. They're aware of the extractor not working in areas. I said that. I said that UIMs are getting shafted. I said it. All right. I'm aware. That's why we read the blogs. We read it for the people who don't want to read. They can sit here and listen to me talk. You can have it on the side monitor, right? So we're seeing changes. Some that should be coming a lot sooner than later, some that should be addressed a lot better. It's one of those cases where it doesn't feel good to say, well, at least you're recognized, but at the same time, it would have been nicer to see them have a better response than we'll get to it later, right? But yeah, that's everything from today's blog and the game update on Wednesday.